Hey, Bob, happy birthday. Can't believe the amazing time and how fast time has flown since we've known you. You've been a huge influence in my life, a huge influence for good. You've taught me what it means to be a disciple of Christ, and I'm so grateful for you for that. I also remember many moments where we were on ski slopes, standing on at a hill of a black diamond run, looking at each other, going, "Why are we doing this?" Or driving late at night, past midnight, coming back from a youth conference, singing Michael Jackson as loud as I could to try to stay awake. We had some great times, some great memories, some great moments. But most of all, Bob, I'll remember the impact you've had on my life, my soul, my heart, what you've taught me, what I've experienced from you, what you've shown me is what it means to be a disciple of Christ. And I'm grateful for you, Bob. Love you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Bob. I have so many good memories of you and just all you have done with our family and for me, and all that you have truly taught me about the gospel and being a good person, and I appreciate that. I love that you were our bishop until we moved to Houston, and I just have learned so much from you, but I also have had so much fun with you and your family, and all the things that we did, all the youth conferences and times in the car and driving, and of course, all of the memories from grandmother's house and how much you and Woody supported me and Susan, and just the fun, crazy times we went through setting up and cleaning up the boutique and the blizzard at Lowry, and going out to dinner after with our family and eating out, and you and Woody stuffing ho-ho-hos for us, and we'll never ever forget all those memories. Another time I remember we went up to your condo in Silverthorne, brought our kids, our families were there, and you and Woody took the boys out fishing to Lake Dillon, and you were gone a few hours and came back, and you said you had caught some trout. I was so excited, and you showed me these beautiful trout, and then I find out you had bought them at City Market. Always playing jokes on me. I'll never forget the blizzard, the Christmas blizzard, where you guys and us put our kids on sleds and we went to the Morrises for dinner. That was such a memorable Christmas. I mean, I just can go on and on with all the memories of being in the Yates van and with Lauren and Sharon and the Morrises and you and Susan and me and Woody and everybody singing, and you were singing Irene, and all of the laughing and the good times that we had, and John Denver concert, and we've just cherished all these memories. And happy birthday. I hope it's one of your best, and I hope we still can make many more memories with you and Susan. Love you so much.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Happy birthday, Bob. Thanks.
We hear someone's turning 80.
And the good news is your 70s have been canceled.
Thanks so much for all the many years of memories. We'll never forget.
The ring ceremony 30 years ago.
You're one of the few that got to hear Brian sing. Everybody in his family.
And I apologize for that.
All of our kids want to hear that, but you're one of the few that got to. It's always been fun over the years, going to the temple and seeing your happy face there. So anyway, cheers to you. 80 years of a wonderful life. We love you.
Bob, happy birthday. Wanted to wish you a great and wonderful and hopefully peaceful and prosperous and healthy new year. You've always been an amazing and incredible man, an example, and wonderful friend of our family. Something that I've always come to really appreciate sincerely and deeply. I have so many early childhood memories of our families doing various things. I'm sure a lot of other people have referenced all the grandmother's house fun, the setup, the cleanup, and all the fun associated with that. But some of my memories that I'll always cherish actually are very, very young, even before our family moved to Houston. So I was extremely young, but I still remember, going to your house, hanging out with Brett and the kids, playing some video games, eating cinnamon toast with butter that was left in the counter or in the pantry, so it was warm and spread easily. I always loved that. But you always let us, obviously into the church buildings and the Stake Center to play basketball and have fun. But you've always been an incredible human, an incredible friend, an incredible leader and example. And I hope it's just a fantastic and fabulous birthday. Happy birthday from the Mathesons.
Happy birthday, Bob. We hope you have the best 80th birthday. We love you. We've known you for so long. We're so grateful for you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Bob. Love you.
Hi, Bob. Happy 80th birthday.
Happy birthday, Bob. We're wishing you a happy birthday and many more years ahead.
Aye, in the top of the morning to you, lad, and how might you be on your 80th birthday? 'Tis a good day. I'm sitting on the patio, enjoying the palm trees moving just a little bit in the breeze. Near perfect blue sky, and we've got our walk-in already. Wish you were here for your 80th. But I think we'll probably be in Southern California or at a Porsche parade somewhere. They got a few of those going around the country right now. It's good that we made it to 80. Not many of us do. So it's kind of fun and enjoyable that way. Everything's going well down here. Just finished up our walk. Had a great time. Of course, I'm wearing my shirt, special, my shoes, special, my book, special, that you got all of those things for me, and I'm so appreciative of that, along with the Chompy's Bagel. So, life doesn't get better for me than this. Have a great 80th. Look forward to our trip down in Orange County. Talk with you soon. Bye.
Happy birthday to a dear friend. It's hard to believe that we've known each other for over 40 years now. As couples, we have traveled.
We've been asked to talk about our dear friend Bob.
To the West Coast.
When I returned from my mission, my friend Rich Pulsfer and I were assigned to the National Guard Headquarters Artillery Company. The best part of being in this unit was meeting Bob.
Another place, though,
there was an immediate connection, and the three of us had a great time together making fun of some of the interesting and different men in the unit.
To the wonderful tradition of going to Arizona.
Became great friends.
Thankfully,
Rich and I invited Bob and Susan to join our study group, where they were a perfect fit and immediately became part of our group, and we all became friends. Bob and Sue were able to help us find an apartment right above them.
You still have
we had such a great time in that sixplex with Bob and Sue and Rich and Kathy Pulsfer.
You have proven
we had great times playing basketball and football on Saturday morning. We called them tilts. Sometimes we even dressed up for the special games. Our group of friends spent time together at Bob and Vicki Williams' cabin and then at our Bear Lake cabin every summer for nearly 10 years. I remember having nearly 20 kids and their parents there. We played in the water, the sand, in the sun, and card games in the house. Our kids made great friends with other kids that were there.
As you were the most impactful bishop that I've ever lived and served with.
It's also where Bob's dream named Beth Ann's Parking Up Cookies.
You've gotten to 80 years old. We hope
after our kids grew up, we started to go on trips with just the adults. We've been doing that for nearly 20 years. We've been to Phoenix twice, Breckenridge twice, St. George, Midway, and Mountain Cabins, and Newport Beach.
Carol and I lived in
the best part of these trips has been spending time with such dear friends.
Share a beautiful family together.
It's always like we haven't been apart.
2 years ago,
we just fit together so well.
I've known for more than 40 years.
We are so blessed to count Bob and Sue as our friends.
Those that might be
they add so much to our lives.
But two, as you
let me just welcome you, Bob, to the 80s Club.
I'll never
passed that mark
a
year and a half ago.
In 1977, when we had moved across the states from Salt Lake to Denver, and
we love you, Bob.
Cars in the truck and moved into our house, and we're pretty dang tired, and we slept in on Sunday morning instead of heading to the Willow Creek Ward, and thought that we'd be safe. To this day, I do not know who tipped the bishopric off, but I assume it's my mother, rest her soul. And about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, heard a knock on our door. I looked out through the little peephole and I could see 3 dark suits, and I knew I was in trouble. And in walked yourself, Bill Balk, and Dave Larson, our bishopric. And you all 3 became beloved men, and I still see Dave Larson and his son Sam often, and many of the other scouts that I was able to serve with in Denver as well. Anyway, you pushed the door open, invited yourself in, asked that your 2 counselors to follow you, saw there's no furniture in the living room, went to the family room, found a couch, and you sat the 3 of you down and invited us to sit down and join with you. And your first question, very first question was, why didn't you come to church today? Well, I'd been inactive for 6 or 7 years, and I was working on things as I'd gotten my graduate degree at a different school than the University of Utah. And I knew that I was on my way back. I just wasn't sure of the route. Well, you made sure that you knew the route. And the next week, after we did attend, I was called to be the assistant scoutmaster in your ward. I can't imagine activating a man asking them to be the assistant scoutmaster, but that's what Brother Balk did when he sat down with me. 6 months later, he came back and sat down with Carol and I and said, we'd like you to be the first counselor of the Young Men's Presidency, which means you'll be over the priesthood as well as the scouting. And there's this brand new program called Varsity Scouting, which we know nothing about, but we expect you to learn about that because we want a varsity program in our ward. And we did. We got involved, and we had a great, great experience teaching high adventure to the always 15 to 20 young men and their non-member friends, inactive kids, the works we had in that group. It was an incredible missionary experience for me while I was there. I was the least experienced of the 4 of us who were in the quorum, but I was the leader. I know that was all by design. And through those years, my testimony grew. I became an elder. We were sealed the temple. All kinds of things happened as a result of our experience in Denver, which I am so very thankful for. One of the many trips we had, because we really traveled a lot, with me in that calling, was a trip. And I hope that you, and especially Bill Bauck, were able to think back and remember when we returned home from a 1-week high adventure to the Jackson, Yellowstone area. And our group of, as I recall, we had 18 young men as well as 4 leaders, which we had 2 of the first 3 days, and I was with the 2 of us the second 3 days. We came home with incredible amounts of damage to the motorhome that we'd rented and to some of the sites that were on our course in both Jackson and Yellowstone. I was particularly discouraged about this, knowing that we were going to really cut into our resources by taking care of all these things. And I had not been in our driveway 10 minutes when Bill Bauck called and said, "You don't have to tell me one thing. I already know what happened on that trip. We consider everybody responsible, not just some." And the bishop's secretary is calling all of the fathers of those 18 boys, even the kids that weren't members. And he will be meeting with all of them today. And I just need an amount of the damage, and I will make sure that gets divided by 18, and every father will cut a check with the bishop before he leaves that interview. And we'll have a check for you tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, to take care of the damage. Will that be okay? I was dumbfounded. And as a member, years later in the young men's, I was on the young men's general board, and I was considered the varsity leader of our young men's presidency, the general young men's presidency. I left all the names out, nobody would ever know, but I told that story many times of a bishop and his counselor who understood the problems we had, and what a teaching moment for me, the way you helped take that responsibility so I didn't have to worry about that, and taught all those boys that this is not the way we do things. Many of them have been priesthood leaders since then, just like I was at a very young age, and I just think that the way that was handled couldn't have been any better. Taken more time than I should have, but I just want you to know how much I love you, and I'm sure Carol does too. And we send those regards to you on your birthday and wish you the very best.
Bob and I discovered that we both like tennis. So we put a group together, a group of 8 with substitutes, and approached the owner of the Colorado Racket Club on East Arapahoe Road to see if we could make a deal with them for early morning tennis 2 days a week. Well, that worked out, and the tennis was really fun. We had a great time. But the ride to work with Bob and John was thrilling. Eating our breakfast all the way down I-25. When we got to work, we usually had to clean ourselves off and the yogurt off of the seats of the car, but it was fun. The first day that Bob was called as bishop of the Willow Creek Ward, I remember it very well. He was still talking to people and hadn't even gone to his office, and I went in his office and disarranged it a lot. And he came back, I was gone, but he quickly figured out who had done that. I can't believe I'm telling this one, and I can't believe that we really did it, but we used, on Sundays, going to church, we used to race with our families to the Easter building. If the Jessops lost, which was really rare, I taught my kids to say, we weren't really racing. I remember a number of years ago when Bob and Susan were the leaders at the temple. I'd gotten into the locker late and I was fixing my tie, and I wanted to make sure my tie looked good, which I always do, and it wasn't coming out. It looked not good, but I had to go because it was time to go. And I thought to myself, there's only one person in the world I can think of who would be picky about a tie and notice that my tie wasn't perfect. But I thought, okay, I gotta go. And sure enough, I opened the locker door. Good morning, President Bills. Don't look at my tie.
Hi, Bob. Hey, I get to talk about Scottsdale. Do you know that we have been, if you add up the days that we've actually been there over all these 20 years, that we've been there for over 6 months? Isn't that cool? We've had so much fun. So when we're all together, we laugh and tease, and we just have fun, just being together. And we do a lot of fun things too. And sometimes we have serious conversations. Not as many, but we do, and it's just been a great experience for us. Every time we pile into the back of our rented minivan, you drive us where we want to go, you manage our money when we spend it at restaurants and wherever, and you keep track of the money and what we're going to owe you. It's just kind of like we're the grandmas and the grandpas in the back seat, and are you the dad or are you the great-granddad? We go to lots of movies. The girls go out to lunch with Melanie or Victoria. The guys go to the car dealership. Do you remember the time that you went to the car dealership and you and Bill were telling about the fancy cars you have? And the guy said, "And what do you drive?" And John said, "I drive a 2004 Highlander." And the guy replied, "Oh, I'm sorry. So rude." We go for lots of walks in the neighborhood. Occasionally we go for a mile walk in the desert, hike in the desert, and we eat at good restaurants all the time. I don't know anyone who has such an impressive hearty appetite as you do. John's got a great appetite, but he doesn't hold a cake to you, so to speak. So Bob, I'm sure you've got a longer list than I do, but here's my little short list of restaurants we've looked. There's Butterfield's for breakfast, Grassroots, lunch or dinner, Chompy's Bagels and Munchies. We take the bagels home. Chelsea's and their good cookies. Do you remember the time that Bill, maybe you've done it too, maybe John has, but he went out and he got a plate and he filled it with the cookies from the little jar that's right by the front door, sort of for when people leave, but we ate them all up before lunch, and then we had some more after lunch. Then there's Spinato's Pizza, there's Wally's, and there used to be Oregano's, but they're not there anymore. We miss them. At home, we all call it home. It's the Haas, but we call it home. The girls do a lot of puzzling and talking. You and Bill debate the value of Fuchs wheels. I think that's something from Porsche. And we sometimes catch you dozing, often actually, when you're reading. At home, we all call it home. It's the Haas, but it feels like home to all of us. The girls like to do puzzling and talking. We do a lot of talking. The guys, you and Bill, debate the value of something called Fuchs wheels. I believe it's a Porsche product. And we catch you often dozing while you're reading car magazines or reading novels or watching TV, whatever you're doing. We all look forward to this trip every single year because it gives us both the quality of time and the quantity of time to spend with one another, and truly we couldn't ask for better friends to do that with. So happy birthday, Bob. Here's to 20 more years of the same.
Hi, Bob. Happy 80th birthday. There are so many memories that I could share of you and of your family when you first moved into our ward here. But I'm going to share a time when, for some reason or other, I was invited to a High Council meeting. I arrived early and you were the only one there. You invited me in and had me sit right there beside you. I noticed that you had your itinerary for the meeting, the agenda, your notes, and your scriptures open in front of you. The High Councilman came And you started the meeting by asking someone to pray. And then you said, the scripture that I've chosen today is, and you read the scripture to them. It immediately invited the Spirit. And I was so impressed. I was impressed enough that in every lesson that I taught, every class, every women's conference, everything I taught after that, I always started with the scripture. I'm grateful to you for teaching me that. Thank you. And thank you to you and Susan for your service to church and community in our area. You have been a great influence for good. Happy birthday, Bob.
Robert K. Bills, I can't believe how old you are. You're so much older than we are. In any event, happy birthday, and we're delighted to have you as our bishop, our stake president, advisor, and friend, and played a part on sending our kids to their missions.
With deepest gratitude, we want to thank you for the wonderful influence you have been in our lives all these years, but especially in our children's lives, as they truly looked up to you as their bishop and as their stake president that sent them forth on missions. You've been a righteous, influencing power in the Carrington family, and we feel so honored to call you friend and associate in the kingdom of God. We're coming from the Canada-Toronto mission. We live in a little town called Parry Sound, and we're so grateful to be on a mission, and we're so happy that we could wish you a happy birthday from our mission. So many happy returns and many more. Bye.
Hi, Bob.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday and 80. I can't believe it.
Congratulations in joining a most prestigious group.
We were the ones that were there from 1979 to 1996. That's part of your life, but there are a lot of things that happened that carry on. We had a lot of people that came back to Salt Lake. And we've gotten together with them in Provo, and sorry to hear some have passed away. Doug Gillespie and
John
Deans.
Close friends.
And we have gotten together with the Rosengreens, and
he's passed away, Brent.
And he passed away.
The Hurleys.
And the Hurleys, and they're getting older like we are.
They're hanging in there, though. They lost their beautiful daughter, Susan.
And so life goes on.
And
the ups and downs.
The Thorleys are hanging in there. Don't have great health, but they're together.
And Gail Tingy, you know, we stay in touch with her. She's the communicator between us and all the people in Denver, it seems like.
And the people that are down south in Utah County.
And just finished her 80th birthday. And that was a great trip. She enjoyed that, so we celebrated her 80th.
Something I've always wanted to do.
You two aren't that far apart. But she is older. And
barely.
She went to Highland, you know, and she always has made the statement whenever she introduces me. She said, yeah, but Dave's pre-Highland.
He's so old.
He's so old, he's pre-Highland. In other words, Highland was there about 4 years before me.
After you?
After me, yeah.
Yes. It wasn't built when you were in high school.
It wasn't built when I was in high school.
Needless to say.
Yeah. So, happy birthday. We think you guys are great.
We've loved the years we've shared.
And our memories of Denver will never go away.
No.
But the memories also of growing up in those very critical years and having good friends.
And you're being the bishop and then the stake president. The kids have lots of fond memories.
Couldn't ask for better friends than we had then, and our thoughts go back to them. Our kids have all grown up, and so have yours. We have Mary that's just turning 50. She just turned 50, and which means that that all of our children are plus 50.
Yep.
50 plus.
And we're going to have Missy include a picture of them that was recently taken. So
well, we don't want to take too much time on this because we know how family movies are, you know, they just go on and on. So happy birthday.
We wanted to wish you a happy birthday and convey our love and sympathy. We're getting mighty old.
Yes, we are.
Love you.
You look forward to the best years of your life, though. That's what I say.
Hi, Bob. How did you get to be 80 years old? I want you to know that me and my family have such great memories of your family, your many kindnesses to us. You had really good babysitters, you know, and you were always so sensitive to me and my family and our needs. You and Susan were both great friends, and we love and appreciate you very much. Have a happy 80th birthday.
President Bills, the only thing that outweighs my aversion to any kind of social media is my love and my respect for you. Happy birthday. I hope you have another 80 years that are as full and productive as the first 80 years. So love you, Chris.
Happy birthday, Bob. It's a biggie for you, I know, and we're going to celebrate it in style. I have brought my special birthday instrument. So get ready to sing. Ready? Okay, get ready to blow out the candles. And these aren't just any candles. These are special tomato candles just for you. Hope you made a good wish. Happy birthday!